Hi, I'm Catherine. I'm an author, a children's author, and I write non-fiction picture books. And one of the series that I've written that I take into schools a lot is this series, published by Quarto, 10 Reasons to Love. And there are lots of different animals that I've written about. And the reason I write my books really is to involve and invite children like you to learn about animals, to learn about conservation, and to help to grow up and help understand why we need to protect our planet. And this series of books, which I've taken into schools all over the country, focuses on different animals. And the first one of these is 10 Reasons to Love a Turtle. And today I'm going to tell you about an amazing project that Bradford Festival has had the idea come up with to write 10 Reasons to Love Bradford. And I'm going to tell you how you can get involved in this amazing project. But first of all, I'm going to show you a few pages from this book. They've all been illustrated by an illustrator called Hanako Klulau, who lives in New Zealand, and she does these incredible illustrations of different animals in the books. This book about turtles, this is about turtles in the coral reef. They're full of colour and full of information about the different animals. And this is a lovely one, a big one of a turtle who's crying tears of salt on the beach. And I did lots of research and discovered lots of things when I wrote these books. And what I've done in schools is encourage children to write their own non-fiction books. And this slide, which you can see now, is about showing the different books that children have written about animals that they love. And it varies from 10 Reasons to Love a Woodlouse to 10 Reasons to Love a Gecko, a lion, a fox, a dog, all sorts of different ideas of animals that children love. So today I'm going to talk to you about the fantastic project, the idea that Bradford Literature Festival came up with, which is, instead of a book about an animal, it's a book about a place, and it's about your city, Bradford. And I'm very lucky to have visited Bradford, invited by the festival to visit schools. And I may have met you when I came last February, just before the pandemic, and visited lots of different schools to do workshops to inspire them to get involved in this project that I'm relaunching today. And I got a fantastic welcome in Bradford, and I absolutely loved my time there. So I'm delighted to ask you again to get involved in this project and to create your own pages of this book. And I'm going to show you how you're going to do that today. So each of the pages in this book, and you're going to create a similar page. Each school is going to be invited to create a page which will be presented to the festival, and they're going to choose some pages to create a book that will be published. So each page has a reason why in my books about different animals, but your books are going to be about reasons why you love your city. And I'm going to talk to you now about some ideas for why you might love Bradford. When I visited, I loved the fact that you've got a paddling pool in the middle of the city. I love the moors that you can go and visit nearby. I love the food. There were lots and lots of reasons why I fell in love with your city. And some of the ideas that you might think about are perhaps the nature in the city, the parks or the wildlife and the mountains and the moors outside. And perhaps the centre of the city, these amazing big buildings that you have, and the fact that you've got water and paddling and fountains in the middle of your city. The spices and the food and the culture of the city. There's such a huge diversity of people and culture in the city, and that might be the reason that you love living there. So there are lots of different ideas. There's also an amazing peace museum, the only one in the country, which I visited in Bradford. So it's a city of peace and people. And there you will have your own reason that you can think about why you love your city. And now I'm going to show you how to create your page. And teachers and parents watching this, you'll find all the information that you need on the Bradford Literature Festival website. We'll tell you how to upload pages to the website and submit them to be chosen to be part of the book that will be published. So I'm going to show you how to create your page. So first of all, you want to think of your reason, whatever it is, your special reason that you love your city, and you're going to write just one sentence across the top of your page. to explain your reason. And then the most important thing is you're going to do a lovely big picture which takes up the whole page. And you'll see in Hanoko's pictures and her lovely illustrations, her pictures take up the whole page, full of colour, right to the edges. Lots of tiny things, big things, but it fills up the whole page. And this is a lovely picture of dinosaurs, and the picture fills the whole page with colour and interesting things. And that explains what your reason is. So I want you to do a big, colourful picture. And then, on a separate piece of paper, we want you to write these wiggly lines are the words you're going to write. 2 paragraphs explaining what your reason is. So it may be you may love Bradford, say, perhaps because of the paddling in the centre. You might explain where that is in the city, why you love it, which friends you go there with. Lots of different reasons to explain why you love your city. And you'll write those in a separate bit of paper, and then the festival will match the words with your picture to create an amazing page. And finally, you're going to, love it if you would add an action badge on your page. Now, in my book, there are 5 badges as you go through the book, and this is a big blow-up version, this is for the turtle book, of what a badge looked like. Now these badges are places where you're encouraging your readers to actually do something, maybe to visit the place, or to smell the flowers in a park, or to find a ball and play football in the park that you love, or to think about somewhere that they want to visit and explore. But it's a doing badge, really. So it's giving your people that are reading your page an idea of something to go and do that will involve them in visiting the place or visiting somewhere similar where they live and taking action and getting involved. So that's another important part of the story. I'm going to share some of my books with you and the stories of some of the animals that I've chosen to explore. And these are 10 Reasons to Love an Elephant, which is one of my favourite books. And I'm going to read you a couple of pages from this book. So one of the reasons to love elephants is obviously their extraordinary noses. They have the biggest noses in the world. Baby elephants swing their little trunks around until they learn what to do with them. After a year, an elephant works out how to eat and drink with its strange long nose. And there they are, there's the little baby one, and there are the elephants playing in the water, and a lovely scene of the savannah drawn by Hanoko. And the second reason, and this is really interesting, about elephants is that they are good gardeners. Elephants are really important in forests. Forest elephants carry seeds around in their poo, and they help spread the different plants and through the forest. So forest elephants eat seeds that pass through their bodies and out when they poo. The seeds start to grow in their dung. So as elephants travel in search of food and water, they take seeds to new places, and this helps the forest flourish. So that's a lovely picture of elephants and gorillas in this particular forest, and they're walking through the forest, and they have a really important role in the forest. And when I wrote these books, I learned a lot about the different animals that I chose to focus on, and I hope that in writing the pages that you write about Bradford and your story, that you might go out and explore and talk to people and perhaps find out something new that you decide to put on your pages. I'm going to read a couple of pages from my turtle book, which was the first book that I wrote in this series. And the reason I wrote that is I've been lucky enough to see lots of turtles in the world. I've travelled all over to different places where turtles nest, and I've found out lots about these quite incredible creatures. And they go on amazing journeys, and that's one of the most interesting things. They travel all over the world, and they go back to the beaches where they were born to lay their own eggs, and nobody understands quite how they do that. And this lovely spread tells you all about their migration journeys, and Hanoko's lovely fish that she's shown here, where they float, they swim through the oceans, and there's a lovely green turtle and dolphins. And the reason is written here. They go on amazing journeys. And then a little bit of writing here, creative writing, about how to explain their migration, explain what we're talking about on this spread. And that's what I'd like you to do on your spreads, is to do a little bit of writing. And sometimes when you write it, you might not get it right the first time, and I do lots and lots of edits and writes and rewrites, and that's all part of being an author and being a writer. So you mustn't worry about having to use a red pen or crossing out or writing things again. That's all part of the journey. That's the lovely thing about writing books and creating these pages. So just think about what you're going to write and write it out, and then write it again, and maybe ask someone else to read it, and check the spellings and the commas and check it all reads nicely, and then you can send it in to us as part of this project. And so that's that book. And then there's also the other book I've got here with me today to share with you, is a penguin book, which is very popular because everybody loves penguins. And my favourite page in this book is, here we go, penguins have salty sneezes. Who knew that penguins sneeze? Well, that's how they get rid of salt. They have a lot of salt in their bodies because they spend a lot of time in the sea, and they get rid of it. It comes out on a gland on their beaks, and when they sneeze, they get rid of all their salt. So that's an extraordinary fact you might want to share with your friends about penguins. And then I hope you discover all sorts of things when you're writing your book. And to finish, I'd just like you all to sit and think, just shut your eyes just for a minute and imagine what's really special about your city. What do you love about it most? Why are you proud to live in Bradford? And there are so many reasons why you would be proud to live in Bradford. I think it's an amazing city, and I'm very happy to be part of this new idea to create an incredible book that you're all going to get involved in. And I wish you lots of luck, and I hope you're going to pick up a pen and get started as soon as you've watched this video. Thank you.